Hi, what's up, Chalkers? Welcome to the Let's Chalk About It podcast. If you're new to fitness or just want to hang with some like-minded fitness folk, then this is the place for you. Remember, it's always good to chalk about it.
Hello and welcome to this week's podcast, where we have got the ever-intelligent Chris McKenzie and the tank. Do we want something different this week?
I don't mind.
Soviet
Captain
Jack.
More lasting.
Scott Carson.
Where's
and I'm
that double
Kieran
brass
Anderson, as always. Hey, don't talk over my intros.
Sorry.
God damn it!
Sorry.
To start again.
You do love an intro. Intro music, we found out. You get a bit delicate with that one, don't you?
Yeah. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
He brought wrestling up straight away.
Yeah, there we go.
He did it. Not me.
You've infected me with wrestling talk.
Not me. It was him. So we've got some quite cool things this week. I've just hit your microphone, not mine.
Ooh.
We are in a new studio. Happy days.
Check it out.
Check it out. Yeah, everyone happy with the
It does
studio?
look good. It does look really good.
It's fancy.
Studio.
We've got a new car
Yes.
for the
Got a motor.
with actual wheels.
Yeah.
Just in case anyone didn't believe us. If you are obviously listening to this and there's no footage, it's just me rolling a car back and forth.
Batmobile, to be precise.
Not just any car.
Yeah, that's anyway. The animated Batmobile, which is very cool. It's even got a steering wheel in it. I just noticed. Yeah, and we are also going to do our very first taste test of these energy drinks that Xite sent to us.
Products.
So I will pass one over to...
Hoping for more, but let's not say too much.
Let's pass one over to Chris. So this isn't, I just want to say as well, this is in no way sponsored by Xite. They were just very kindly sent us over some energy drinks to try, which are natural caffeine source. And
Spencer's killing me.
they are 0 sugar.
I hope it
So
lasts.
shall we get it tried?
Yes.
Get it tried. That's good English,
go.
people. Hang on, let's go right next to the mic. Oh, that sound.
Smell straight away. Smells good.
It does, yeah.
Yes. That smells like medicine. The good kind.
Yeah, that's tasty. That's good.
Okay, Scott's just going to drink all of it in one go.
Not too much. He needs it though.
Have you actually finished that?
I think he's had a busy day. No. It's a little gassy.
What's good about it is, you know when you get energy drinks with ginseng in it, it tastes really bitter. Or like BCAAs, you kind of get it. This I don't think this... Does that have BCAAs in it? I don't think it does.
No, I don't think it does. No.
Is it?
You get like
it's,
a really
it's taurine
tartness.
free as well. It's taurine free.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, I'm into it.
I think you get hit with like
Watermelon.
flavors and E numbers when you have these drinks, and that one's like really subtle.
Yeah.
So that's quite nice.
Yeah,
Good.
it is
it's
like
got that
a
kind of
seltzer.
I'm sure you can't go wrong with a caffeine drink. You're gonna get a buzz.
Nice
Drinking.
watermelon flavour. You guys are all talking technical terms. I'm just like, there's a
Watermelon.
picture of
I've
a
said
watermelon
nothing technical.
on it.
He's the beverage guy.
But yeah, these are nice.
Yeah.
These are so they've sent us 2 lots. So we've got the pink. Should we say pink or red?
Pink, yeah.
And they've
Wine?
also sent us a blue.
It's like a
I'd
wine.
say it was more of a Melbeck colour. What do you think, Chris?
Oh, soft velvet.
I'll push on the Rioja, actually.
Anyways, they've also sent us some blue ones to try. So we'll try them next week and let you know what they're like. But
Now who's getting technical?
technically, actually...
Blue
no,
ones.
No, hang on. Technically, we're going to try them this week. So we're going to have 2 podcasts this week.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So happy days.
Let's do it.
So we will try them on our next podcast. But these are very nice. And thanks. And again, big shout out to Xite for sending these to us. They didn't have to.
Yeah,
but
thanks,
it was
guys.
very nice of them to do so. So
Now
I think they've
Scott's
got
awake.
He's a bomb.
I think they've got a current offer on as well at the moment. So if you buy 2 cases, you get 1 case free. So make sure you go and check it out. I believe their website is on here somewhere.
Are they just online? Can you get them anywhere?
I think you can get them on Amazon.
Oh,
and I think
sweet.
you can get them on their website, which is drinkxite.com. So go check them out.
Do it.
guys.
Go get it.
And then back to the podcast. Let's get the questions in.
Questions?
You're building angst and suspense.
Questions.
Why you'd whisper into a microphone, but let's do it anyway.
Isn't that just what ASMR is? It's people going like... and like people could get off on it or something. That's basically it.
Sorry, they choked on my drink then.
So
Scott has definitely
side effects of those drinks.
Scott's definitely woke up.
I'm here.
He's going to start doing his podcasts in rewind.
Yeah, we've put the propane in the tank.
Right, we've got wads of questions.
Wads.
Wads.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Or wads of questions.
Let's stick with wads.
Oh.
Right, so
No, he's not listening, so you're not
that's
getting
fine.
any sound
Ironic.
effects.
The irony.
Yeah, well.
first one is I'm at my goal. What next?
Sort of. Go on.
I don't think you can ever be at your goal, surely.
You can be at your goal, but if you're driven enough,
Micro-goal.
if you're driven enough to make goals and,
Like, who are you? Like Jeff Bezos? Like looking like Arnie with the money of Jeff Bezos. He'd probably still be unhappy. Still be something in there.
you went to quick places there, didn't you?
Yeah.
I had to pull myself out of the darkness. I had to tell you. I was about
Right,
to
you're
go
awake,
down a hole.
You're feeling good. Right, you're with us. It's okay,
Yeah,
man.
I'm back.
That's it. If you're driven enough to make goals for yourself and go and show up, put the work in, plan it, and really have some good goals, and you're good enough to go through it and make those goals, you're gonna be the type of person to make new goals. So you're not gonna be in that position, I don't think.
Like if you do say an Ironman and you finish it and it's like that was my goal to do an Ironman, you're not gonna. I don't think anyone's ever I don't think this person's hit their goal.
You're gonna say what do people do Ironmans in, by the way?
Clothes.
9 hours.
Yeah.
9 hours.
He's
10
listening
hours?
now.
Yeah, yes, something like
Something
that.
horrible.
Yeah, 9 to 11. I think world champion level is 9 hours, and it's about
All right.
11 hours.
Okay, so if you're just doing them, you're talking close to 18 then. 17, 18 hours.
I think 11 to 14 hours might be. I'm not quite sure.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
guessing off the top of my head.
Well, they're going to look at their time and they're going to want to improve it, aren't they? So
Well, it depends on the person. Either you want to go faster or you want to go bigger. You start doing crazy ultra marathons, double Ironmans, or you just become Ross Edgley and swim around the UK or pull a tree, right?
pull a tree.
I've done a triathlon. I'm going to do it with a tree.
Yeah, that guy is running away for some serious demons. So basically what we're saying is make some new goals.
You love Ross Edgley, don't you?
I do, yeah, that's not being
Well, what I
mean.
would say is actually hit your goal. Stop lying to yourself. You haven't hit it.
Yeah.
And stop lying to us.
Don't be the dude at work. Hit my goal last night, guys. 400 kilo squat, and I'm just pretty much done.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm going to reside to sitting on the couch and doing nothing.
Oh yeah, bad knees.
Yeah.
Tell everyone's bad knees.
I benched 200 kilo when I was younger, but now just my shoulder.
Yeah, he benched 200 with bad knees.
Yeah.
Yeah. leg pressed 400 kilos. That's it.
If you're a driven person, I mean that's what it is, right? You just
If you got goals, yeah, it's irrelevant. I think.
Make
I
new
have
goals.
goals.
You can have new goals.
I have goals for days where I have nothing to do because it's just like I'm going to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Make my bed at this time. Get coffee at this time.
But even if you don't make goals, that's making a goal, right?
Yeah.
So even if it's like, I'm not going to do anything today, well, that's my goal. So
Yeah.
Not entirely correct, but yeah, sure.
that's true. If you say you're not doing something, so if you're like, right, my goal today is not to do anything, then technically you're making your goal.
I think this is off. We're going off.
We're tangenting a little.
So anyway, make new goals.
Yeah, that's
our
short
advice.
answer, yeah. Second question is working out with friends actually beneficial, or would it be better going to a PT? Well, I think for us, we have the best of both. So we don't need.
Oh well,
PT.
I don't think you're friends. I just associates.
I was talking about Chris.
Oh, okay.
We're like leeches to Kieran.
That's it, yeah.
Oh, here they are again.
I bet if I didn't have a gym, they wouldn't even turn up.
He's the old man with a bag of bread
3 in the morning.
the pigeons.
I made this. Let's maybe answer the question.
Yeah. Again, it's goal based, isn't it?
I don't know if it is.
I
think. Well, go on. Say what you're going to say.
I think if you have a goal outside of your friendship group, you kind of need to get professional help from somewhere.
You're going to have to speak to the right minds
you're gonna have to
at
go
some point. Yeah.
It might not be a PT. It might be a friend.
The question's
of a friend,
like coach or someone that knows.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think if you're...
It doesn't have to be a PT.
But then I think it's very important to train with people that are like-minded to you.
I think... so like
a PT's on the clock getting paid. They're going to be nice to you. Your mate's going to call you a dickhead. Or you didn't squat low enough.
So it's like a lot of honesty where
Yeah.
some PT, I mean, a good PT will be really honest, and good coaches will be
Oh,
very,
yeah.
very honest all the time. But yeah, you might get some, I suppose, like in the commercial environment where it's a bit softer, it's a bit more like
That's
goal
what I'm
driven.
thinking, yeah.
You've not got the really driven lifters that are going to be really robust. You've just got people that are just getting into lifting. They need a PT, which is fair enough. They need a coach, someone to really give them that base knowledge, because maybe they don't have the time we have or the dedication we have to then read everything for 10 years about training. Maybe they need someone to just go, well, these are the main bits, and that's what they're paying for. They're paying for that time.
Yeah.
But on friends versus training partners, if you've got the right friends around you and they've got the same goals, they've been reading the same as you, or if you say, hey, take a look at this, or you're sharing information that you've been reading for years, then you're going to build each other in the same way that a PT would build you. But Louis Simmons said, training partners make champions, not coaches. So it's who you train with, I believe, and you'll build each other, and yet you'll have snippets of information where you go to people, the right coaches, the right people, the right lifters, and you'll improve quicker. But yeah, it's about, I think, training with friends. If you're building and you've got a little team and you're leaders, you'll do awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
I think you're accurate as well in saying that, if you train with your friends, you're going to get the truth. You're not necessarily going to get that from a coach to start with.
Really?
Yeah, well, I think
What's your opinion of a coach then?
Well, not in my opinion of a coach. That's probably not right. What I mean is they're going to have to take a little bit of time to get to understand who you are as a person.
Okay.
Whereas your friends, if you train with them regularly, they're going to probably know your weak areas. They might know your typical excuses of why you might not want to train, and that's a better thing to be able to just sort of be like, you know what, just suck it up and get in there.
Whereas a coach doesn't know they don't know it's an excuse yet. Whereas your mates know it's an excuse.
By the sounds of the question, I think like if there's someone's asking what's better, training with my friends or getting a PT, they're not talking someone like going in paying someone like Louis Simmons. They're not talking a coach. They're talking just a personal trainer.
Yeah, which there are good and bad. We're not just gonna what's that term? We're not just gonna paint them all with the same brush. There's great PTs out there. They've got usually with like their own facilities and stuff. Don't paint them all the same brush. Yeah, there's bad practice, there's good practice, but I'd imagine you're right there. Yeah, they mean go get a PT, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, someone from a professional. I'll tell you what, I've got a bit of a sort of question off the back of that one. How would you look for a good personal trainer or a good coach? I'm kind of more directing this towards you because obviously you're from that profession. So if you're, you've got no sporting background and you want to find yourself, someone who's not just going to take you for a ride for £120 an hour or whatever they're charging out these days.
Price is relevant because you don't pay for cheap PTs. No. Like you should be paying something. You should be paying a fair little whack for their hour because they should value their own time, and you should be thinking, right, I'm getting something out of this. And you'll enjoy it better if you know you're paying for the right service.
Yeah, but take it more serious.
You will do, yeah. Taking for a ride is value for money, so you've paid a lot and you're not getting anything out of it. How do you find a great personal trainer or coach?
Look at the people that you want to be like.
Message them, message them and say like, what's your approach? Do you think they'd fit with you? But I think the main thing would be look at their results.
Yeah.
And not like Instagram results, like speak to people. They were so like, ask the right questions. How did you feel being trained by them? Did you get good value? Did you hit your goals?
Yeah. Did
they have good conversations? Did they ask the right questions of you in training? So results would be the main thing because it's goal driven, isn't it? You don't pay just to have a little bit of a session. You train and you pay over an amount of time to hit your goals. Yep. So did they get results? Meet with them and message them because it's two-way. It's a relationship. It's a coach athlete. It's a coach client relationship. So speak to them. Speak around and look for the right people with the best results.
Definitely.
Good. Next question then.
Cool.
That's pretty good. Answered nicely. Thank you, Chris.
Next question. So from Spendy, what is the key to recovering from an injury?
Ooh.
I like that one.
Don't ask me because I don't recover from injuries.
Yeah. Kira's like, keep them for as long as possible.
Keep them forever.
Well, what? Hang on. What was it we were doing earlier? If you've got an injury, maybe you haven't got an injury.
Oh yeah, gonna work. Still gonna work. If you've got an injury, keep playing, keep trying.
You got duct tape. You got ibuprofen. You're fine.
Yeah, there's nothing that duct tape cannot solve.
Tape your legs together.
And if it can't solve it, it's not worth solving.
For me, so.
Is that another product placement for today?
Yeah, this is no way sponsored by duct tape.
Or ibuprofen at any kind.
We were talking about injury before, and you started off by saying mindset.
Yeah, first thing you need to do is get your head right before you even think about starting the recovery process.
Yeah. Such a good point.
Because if you're not in the right mindset, you're either going to go too fast, too quick, injure yourself worse, or pick up new injuries by, trying to offset whatever it is. Or you're just going to go in and just kind of be really disheartened with where you are. So you need to make sure you're in that mindset. It's like, I'm in this recovery phase now.
Acceptance is the main thing.
Go
I'll talk
in.
about it in a sec. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, because I'm kind of in that at the moment. So I'm kind of in the mindset where I keep having a few days where I'm like, I feel better, I get back into the gym, I do something. I'm really struggling with my right leg at the moment. I've got something going on with my knee, I've got something going on with my calf. I have a few good days, and I'm like, I can get back into it. And then I do something ridiculous. And I don't mean like training-wise. I was talking to you the other day, wasn't I? And I walked into the garage, I misstepped and pulled my calf again. And I was like... And then you can't help but get frustrated because you're making such great progress with your training. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, okay, that's now going to put me back 6 weeks. But I think, it's hard to say because I'm obviously speaking from my own experience and I know I don't do it, but you just have to give yourself time. I think time is one of the key things to recovery is don't put too much pressure on yourself and let yourself recover.
Yeah. And it's easier said than done because a lot of my...
so easy.
A lot of my triggers for like panic attacks is injuries. So I've got nerve damage in my left foot. I broke it doing a triathlon years ago and did a triathlon on it. So it's just all messed up and, if I get a bit of inflammation, pressure on the nerve, I'm on crutches for, and it's usually annually.
And times you don't want it to be.
Usually around times,
being on holiday.
Yeah, usually just about to get into holiday season and I'm on crutches, but, whatever. But it's that, you're beating yourself up. Like, I was in the gym yesterday doing a 200 kilo deadlift and I took the bin out and now I'm knackered because my foot landed on a rock. At a funny angle.
Just moved a little bit.
Yeah, or like the paving wasn't quite straight, so my foot just and now I'm bedridden for 3 months and on crutches.
Right.
It's just you need to get out of your headset that, it's not
always perfect.
It's it's life. You can say, okay, that's what's happened,
Also, it's probably more relevant to like us who have got train quite hard with obviously weight training, and it's relevant to maybe game sports or wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about wrestling in a second because I think there's a slightly different approach to that one. But.
Yeah, you can jump in with wrestling for injuries, but I think, so I was watching another podcast like a week or so ago, and...
He's cheating on us.
It was the Good, the Bad and the Rugby.
Oh.
And it was awesome, and so Dylan Hartley was on there, ex-England captain, and he said, so he was talking about injury and when you feel a bit beat down, and he called it's the pact you make with the game, so it's like, sort of, or it's like, well, it's in the handshake, so... You're going to get injured. So let's say it's rugby. It's a avoidance sport with a lot of heavy collisions, or weight training. It's weight training. You're going to pick up injuries. You're going to be pushing yourself. And
pushing yourself depends on what the injury is.
You're going to be pushing yourself daily. Totally messed this up. And you're not going to be quite as recovered every single session, and injuries happen. So you've just got to accept it. First of all, you're in the game, you're in the sport where you're going to get injured time to time. So accept that first off, and then a really useful bit of advice is just build back slow, take your medicine, build back slow, and speak to the right people, because I don't know anything about injuries, and it's not just about if you go slow it'll be fine. Speak to the right people, get some advice as well.
The amount of people you get going into a gym limping or on crutches, going to squat, it's like you can't even walk yet.
Yeah,
you're in there way too soon.
Ignorance.
Yeah,
I mean, I appreciate the hustle, but pull it back a bit. How about work on that rubbish bench you've got, mate?
Yeah, you're gonna hold on to those crutches a lot.
Yeah. I think like we were saying about sports, obviously something I can chime in on is wrestling and getting injured in wrestling. I think the biggest problem with that is being able to accept that you're going to have to give time to an injury, because with them it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. So if you're making good headway in the UK, anywhere, and you're getting promoted on different places, and then all of a sudden you get injured and that's you out for 6 weeks, then they kind of got that attitude of, well, if I don't perform, I'm never going to get back in with these companies. And I'm telling you now that some of these guys are working for months on end, if not years on end, to get into one business.
Right.
And then for them to jeopardise that because they've got an injury, they kind of look at it and go, well, I'll just work through it.
Yeah.
But I think the best thing for that is to just say, look, I need to think of the long game. So do I want a short, maybe a good career, but it might be short because I've had a shoulder injury, I've not really had it looked at.
Yeah.
Or do I go for the long game where I say, actually, I'm going to get this
Space
sorted
out that
now.
bump card.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this sorted now, and then that'll give me an extra 4 or 5 years on my career. Then I don't have to. And I mean, there's not one wrestler I've ever met who hasn't had something serious they've worked through instead of getting it treated, and that's myself included. So
yeah, exactly.
I definitely think the attitude of that needs to change a little bit, but I also understand where they're coming from.
Yeah. So, sub question: if you were to go back, would you space out your bump card a bit more, take a bit less, or because I know they say about paying your dues for Chris. bump cards, like they say, every wrestler has a certain amount of bumps in their career.
I sort of got it, yeah.
So you have a certain amount of bumps you can hit in your career, and then you're done, unless you're Ric Flair. And then, so yeah, would you go back and like take less and think about extending that, or would you do it differently? Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I would. I think if I went back, I would definitely look at it more as a story-based activity instead of a performance-based activity.
Yeah.
So rather than going out there and thinking I have to wow the crowd with my moves, I'd rather do it with the storytelling.
High flyers and all the high spots.
I know, but if you're a small guy, there's not a big place for you not doing high spots.
But now, in hindsight, looking at how it is now, it's a bit different.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I probably would space up, but that's so hard to tell a young, inexperienced wrestler. Be like, do you know what? Don't bump that much.
Yeah.
Don't do that much. Don't do this that much.
Yeah.
Because A, they're excited. B, they're performing. And C, they're trying to impress. And that's very hard to be thinking, well, I need to pull this back a little bit. But not every match can be a 5-star match.
No.
And that's the best way of thinking about it. You're not always going to go out there. And you shouldn't always go out there and have a 5-star match.
No.
Because your place on that card determines really what sort of match you should be having. If you're going out there and having a main event in the first one, then everyone's got to try and follow you. It's not going to work. So
sometimes be kind, and if you're an opener, wrestle an opener.
yeah, which I learned that lesson the hard way. Basically, I had what I would have classed. Well, I wouldn't even class it as a main event, but I had what I thought was a good match.
Yeah.
And then I got grilled when I went backstage. It was like, what are you doing? Like, that's not. You were an opener. Like, how are we all meant to now follow that?
You don't think of that when you're young. You want to go out and...
To be fair, I wasn't even that young. I should have known better.
Okay.
So it was on me. But
that's on you then.
So basically, on a card of wrestling, what they would do is they would put matches
same
in
as
order.
Boxing. You're not going to...
Yeah, you wouldn't have Mike Tyson on first.
A few 8-rounders, move up, area title.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you kind of go pretty okay for your starters to get people interested. You can kind of fall off a little bit, then you're going to go better when you come back after your intermission. Fall off a little bit more, and then you're going to come back with a main event that's going to drag everybody into it.
Okay.
So that's kind of the way it looks at that. But yeah, I would definitely be a bit smarter with it.
Yeah.
Definitely. I wouldn't go back, but definitely.
Yeah.
Just in case anyone out there thinks I'm going to come back.
I really thought you were going to say you left at a good time. That was like the moment. I was like, good
I
for
left
you.
at a bad time. A very bad time.
Oh, right. Other podcast.
It's like different podcast. You were injured, beat up, left, and then you had WWE UK.
Yeah, basically. And one of the guys that I helped train and gave advice to go somewhere else and get trained by somebody else, he actually ended up on that tournament as well. So, yeah, let's not talk about that. Not saying I'd have ended up on that tournament because there's some really good guys out there, but I definitely left at the wrong time.
All right.
Definitely.
I didn't know that.
Next question is from Rob.
Nice one. Hello, Rob.
He says, how has lockdown and this year affected your short-term and long-term goals and motivation?
It's a very good question.
Short-term goals is pretty obvious. I didn't train for 17 weeks because I couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Weren't allowed. And, got really... I was like starting to get to a point where I was like, I'm getting sick of this. When a gym's going to open, or what are the opportunities out there for me to go and train? I was like messaging people I knew that had facilities or had gyms, and
I'm trying to sleep on someone's couch. You were gyms.
But
I told you he was only here for the gym.
Well, that was sort of like, no, we were talking like texting, being mates the whole time. Anyway, but I accepted it was just a setback. That problem's not going to be forever. We will contain the virus. We will. It will get better. In terms of long term, I don't think it's changed anything and I actually think there'll probably be upsets. Well, what am I trying to say? There'll be setbacks. Sorry.
Yeah.
In the future, that's going to hold me back a few weeks.
Yeah.
Or maybe a couple of months from certain things that happen. Maybe I've got to go somewhere. Maybe I've got to hold back from training. Maybe deload and stuff. Injury could happen. Not that we ever want to think about that.
Oh, after jinxing yourself yesterday.
Jinxed myself the other day, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm not injured, but could have been. So I'll
That's how I like
accept
to leave the gym.
I'll accept that goals I've got for my late 30s and like I don't know when I'm like 40 and over. I don't think that COVID's really affected them at all. I don't think it's going to change it. I'm going to get there no matter what. And a few weeks here and there aren't going to change too much in terms of your long-term goals.
Yeah.
So long-term, not too much, to be honest.
So what are your long-term goals? If you don't mind sharing them with everybody in the world. All 5 listeners. Which 4 of them are
I've
in
got
this room?
numbers I want to hit, probably, and I've got certain times I want to hit them in, but it's like late 30s, I want to have some real good numbers on the platform.
Are you going to share those numbers?
No, because you guys know them, but I'll,
No,
maybe another time.
I think maybe you should put it out into the universe, and once you said it, you got to do it. You know, like if you get a notepad and
are
you
we
write
talking
down.
like lifetime goals, or are we talking just...
Well, I don't want to sort of think I'll be lifting lifetime numbers into my 40s. So I've tried.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to try and hit this before I'm sort of like maybe late 30s, 40. But 300 kilo squat on the platform.
I want to be.
Then
there
I've got
that day.
some bench goals and deadlift goals is kind of irrelevant. It's just the 300 squat I really want to hit, and then just the total to keep going up. And I'll probably be much heavier by then. But I'm around 100 kilos now. Undecided whether I want to then go back to powerlifting as a 93 or a 105, because I kind of like just thinking you're going to hit your best numbers the heavier you are. So undecided weight classes, but 300 kilos on the platform.
Yeah.
Really like it's my
So
main
when-
drive.
700 plus total.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be around there, wouldn't it?
So when you
That's-
say
that's-
sorry, when you
700
say
is
on
a
the
big
platform,
milestone, eh?
It is, yeah.
when you say on the platform, do you mean in a competition?
Yeah, man.
Sorry,
Yeah.
just for everyone listening at home.
In
For
a
the-
comp.
You
With
basically
judges.
have essentially 2 numbers, right? You have your gym numbers, so what you've hit in the gym.
It really depends. I mean,
And what you hit in
if I
competition.
think that you're a good lifter and you know it's like you've competed and stuff, I'm not going to go, oh, it wasn't in a comp. Like lifting's lifting,
Yeah.
but I really prefer, for like my own goals, to say you know you've done it in a competition
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in
definitely.
the right federations.
Anyway, that's definitely a podcast for a different day.
I suppose it is, yeah.
What about you, Scott?
Well, like, we were talking about this a little while ago. It's like it depends what your, what you classify as long-term goals.
Yeah, you were saying, yeah.
'Cause some people have 3-year plans, 5-year plans, lifetime goals. Short-term, like same as Chris. Couldn't really train. I got very good on the air bike because I sold my kit just before lockdown.
Yeah, you did, because I was going to have some of it off you, weren't it?
Yeah,
I messaged
yeah.
you and you were like, no, it's gone now. I was like,
Yeah, I sold it. But yeah, I had an air bike and I had a pair of dumbbells and I did a lot of shoulder mobility stuff and air bike, and I was like, oh, this will do for now. And then, once lockdown started to lighten up and we were able to train, it was good to just, get in with you guys, do some proper just lifting, just pig iron lifting,
Yeah, man.
loading the bar and picking it up in some way or another.
Keeping it simple. It's good to reflect and just go back to what we like doing.
But, yeah, other than that, I don't know. It kind of it threw me off mentally because working from home, and I am a man of routine.
Yeah.
I like to have things set in order.
but being an introvert, though, working at home must have been like, once you got settled into that, almost a bit better than being at work, surely.
I don't see. That's strange. I thought it would be like that, but I do. I like to be around people. I just don't like to be spoke to.
Oh, okay.
I like to be
Yeah.
the old man in the park feeding the ducks,
I'm glad you clarified that one.
not in a coat and not near playgrounds.
You like atmosphere. You like atmosphere.
Clarified enough.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks
I am
for-
an atmosphere. Yeah,
Clear
exactly.
enough.
I like to travel with me and my partner, but I like to travel in small groups. Don't like more than 4. I'm like, yeah, this is too much for me. There's too many minds in one room. All the other people are just droids, right? They don't have lives and feelings outside of this and have an existential crisis.
You know that they're woke and the rest are in the Matrix.
Yeah, exactly. But like working from home, it's just hard to adjust because I'm so set in my routine of getting up and doing the breakfast cardio routine and going to work and going to the gym and house, just stuff day-to-day adulting.
Maybe a bit too much freedom with working from home. That's what people sort of struggle with. Is
and with that
too
freedom,
much.
I just spent time feeling more anxious
Yeah,
because I had nothing to fill the gap.
feel that void.
Spending a bit more time in your head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But long term, not much has changed because I've kind of set vague, realistic goals. Like in my life, I want to hit a marathon. I want to do another try. I want to do a big swim. I don't know what big swim, but I want to do a big swim, like over 10k.
I hear swimming around Britain's quite good.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I mean, I have got the mass for it. Look like a walrus just dropping around the outside of the UK. But and I've got a beard for the jellyfish already.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But no, I don't think I'll be doing anything like that. Although I'm a big fan of Ross Edgley, Sean Conway. If no one knows who Sean Conway is, he did the first GB triathlon. So John O'Groats to Land's End, he swam it, John O'Groats to Land's End, and he cycled it, and then he ran it.
Oh my goodness!
He's got a very, very good book. Shout out to him because he's a great lad. But I have little goals like that, and then I have my lifting goals. I have micro goals. Like right now is 140 bench to be able to squat plates again properly.
Yeah, because your knee's giving you some jip, but you'll get past it.
Yeah, it's just like those little things, and that's also part of goes back to the recovery question. It's like I could chuck on 140 and hit a couple of singles, but it's not going to help me in the long run.
No.
So slowly doing that sort of is it high volume, loads of reps, loads of sets.
High volume, yeah.
Lot of low weight stuff, and then just building it over time. So yeah,
Nice.
that's it.
Patience and keep going, man.
Yeah. Sorry,
what about your did you talk about short and long-term goals?
Short-term changed. Well, short-term and long-term changed, I suppose. Well, no, not suppose. Definitely.
A lot changed for you because you sort of got your gym going.
Definitely. So the gym started in the So the gym started. Well, I started lifting in quarantine because there really wasn't anything else to do. It was, you can only stay around your house. Like you can only sort of go for like a mile walk, and other than that, stay in your house. I didn't want to go out anyway, as in I didn't want to go shopping because it was not a nice experience. So that was as less as that as possible. And then, what's so funny about
stay
that?
At home, don't stay at home.
Yeah, that one. Stay at home, don't stay at home. If you can work from home, go to work.
That was it, yeah.
So for me...
For time sakes, so everyone knows, we might be entering into the second lockdown, so...
Yeah, so this podcast may change slightly, but we'll come across that bridge when we have to.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just kind of like eat and train. That was it. And that kind of then got a little bit more of like, actually, this has kind of changed my feelings towards fitness in general, as in how much it really helped me out. And then long-term goals, this was born. Yeah. So the podcast was born from that. And what I really want to do, and the whole reason behind this, is trying to sort of build a community for everybody who's, might not be into fitness massively. You might just really want to be getting into fitness, or you enjoy it a little bit, but you're not quite sure what you want from it. And hopefully this helps out, and this, answers some questions for people, and they've got a place they can come where they don't feel like they're being judged, and they can ask whatever questions they want to. And that's, it's kind of made me feel a bit more like what I want to do is give back to people rather than just doing, something for the sake of doing it. I want to be able to help people and, draw more people in. That's kind
of
what
it, man.
It's
been awesome. You're doing it.
Yeah.
So we're getting there. That was a round of applause for those who don't have headphones on.
I could still hear it.
Through mine.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to be deaf at the end of this, and my goals might change slightly.
At least lifting will be really quiet for you.
Yeah, we were all shouting up, and I'm like,
this is relaxing. Lift for me.
Okay, here's one. Favorite song lyric or favorite movie line that gets you pumped up?
Oh my god.
Oh.
Spoilers, a bit of behind the curtains, breaking kayfabe. We have spoke about this.
Yeah,
we did try.
And I didn't even think about it.
To do it justice, we actually looked at that one, and because it's too difficult to think of it.
Yeah, you can't just think of it, but I did not look into it.
I can't say lyric-wise.
Lyrics impossible.
There was a song that I kind of thought, as soon as the kind of intro starts, you get a little bit more pumped, and that was Fight Music. Is it Eminem?
Yeah.
And that, all right, D12, I'm getting shouted at by the sound guy. Well, he's not shouting, he's like whisper shouting.
He's decided to join in all of a sudden.
He's finally woke up.
Yeah.
Half of this podcast probably hasn't recorded, but hey.
Well, he's the reason we're all here again.
Yeah, so Fight Music. Then you've got the line from Predator, I ain't got time to bleed, which I thought was quite a cool one.
That, yeah.
Right, Kieran's done his movie quote already. I've got it.
Yeah, well, I'm taking that, so you can be quiet over there, Mr. Soundman.
One that we always say in the gym is like, when someone says something like, "Oh, I don't want to do that one," it's like that's why no one will remember your name.
Oh, the Troy, Troy, yeah. Do you know, you've nailed it. That's such a good one. Such a good one. When we think, just maybe lower the percentage, or not that we'd ever do RPE.
Yeah.
But I'm not really feeling it today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no one's gonna remember your
I
name.
don't really do glute ham raises. That's why no one will remember your name.
Do you know what? There's so many great fitness memes of that when it was like when you take 2 scoops of pre-workout and it's like, I can't believe you do that. That's why no one will remember your name.
Yes. I did have a little think, and we spoke about it a little bit, but there's a great one, and no one really knows it. So everyone thinks of Gladiator. There's some unbelievable quotes, but there is one right at the beginning when the Romans are facing the Germanians, and you see Quintus quite arrogant. He's like a Praetorian, like a guard, isn't he? Or like a bodyguard of Maximus. And he says something quite arrogant. Oh, they should know when they're conquered. And Maximus, being like the unbelievable leader and general, he says, "Would you? Would I?" As in, like, we wouldn't know we're conquered. Yeah. So that's why we're still going to go battle with them. So he had like a respect for them, even though they're just these like berserker Germanians that were mad. He was like, well, I'm going to respect them and go and kill them. So that's quite good. It's got a good line. You could think about training, but
I just like how you ended it. Just going to go and kill him.
That's what he did. He went and killed them.
Yeah.
Have you seen the film or what?
But respectfully.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Quickly, like a Roman would.
Like, yeah.
Sorry, killed. And then for you said about Fight Club, I had one that gets me going. Halo, not by Beyonce, by Soil. It's just the best opening to like a metal song. I'm just like, oh, this is so good.
I do like that
Isn't
song.
the lyrics like a love song though?
Could be, but it's just them screaming their heads off.
I will soul you, wrap my arms around you, or something.
Might be like Anaconda Squeeze.
Yeah.
You don't remember Naturally Brave?
You've turned like one of my lifted songs into a love song. Thanks, man. Cheers.
Hey, you could take that. You could take so many lines from Naturally Libre.
I don't know.
So you want to make a name for yourself, Horseface?
Don't know what you're going on
I
about.
haven't watched
You've never seen
Naturally
Naturally
so
Libre?
long.
Jack Black?
Jack
Yeah.
Black, yeah.
No.
Oh, mate.
What? You love Jack Black?
Oh, jeez. Unbelievable.
I'll have to
Jables.
lend you the DVD and have to watch it.
Shout out to Jables. Thank you for existing and being a lovely human being.
Let's get him on.
Thank you.
Let's get him on.
Life
Could
complete.
you imagine?
Oh, can we add that
It'd
to
be like
the
Chris or Jack Black.
long-term goals?
Yeah. How do you long-term goals change? Oh, I want Jack Black on my podcast.
Yeah, so Jack Black, if you are currently watching this podcast for some bizarre reason that you may have stumbled across it, if you would like to come on, that would complete most of our long-term goals.
If you opened Kieran's mail to you when he sends you iPads with our podcast playing, please come on down.
I just love watching his Instagram lately where it's just him diving into a pool.
It's
love
so
him.
good. Yeah, and he does that like kind of round the world.
Yeah, he's got
filter
the
been putting on it,
360 camera,
yeah,
isn't he?
it's so good.
Yeah.
So good. That's a bit off topic. But
As well as his unbelievable talent and genius.
Oh, yeah.
hit us up,
Fantastic.
Jack. Hit us up. Sorry, I'll call you Mr. Black. It's a bit more polite, isn't it? I'll call you Jack. First,
So,
what's the last one or next one?
lad, we've got 5 left.
We've got a few left. Man.
Bejeebus.
Any hobbies outside of lifting, fitness, or sport type things? You know.
Yeah, I game actually. I game a lot. It's more of a social side of things though.
Oh yeah, you
I don't.
got your buddies.
I'm definitely not very good at it. The sound guy will definitely support that one, but I enjoy it for the social. And again, that was another thing that got us through quarantine. We used to get on the PSN, put Call of Duty on. We'd have the old FaceTime up so we could all chat to each other at the same time. Have a drink. We made a drinking game out of it, which was brilliant.
Nice one.
Games are good.
But yeah, that's kind of it really. I mean, I'm not massively into anything else. I don't really have time for anything else. Especially now we've got the podcast, we're training.
I did have quite a bit of time, over lockdown. So when golf was up and running again,
we all did, Chris.
Yeah, when golf was up and running again, I've been playing it again for the last couple of years. So I do play golf. Really do enjoy it. It's about quite a bit of reading. Nothing too.
Yeah, you do read a lot, don't you?
Yeah, quite a
What
bit.
are you reading at the moment?
Yeah. You just finished Wacko's book, didn't you?
I finished Jocko Winlink's.
Jocko.
Winlink, yeah, Jocko. Wacko.
Wacko. Well, he's just a mad
He's
bastard,
quite
ain't he?
wacky, yeah. With his compound bow, ripping things, just shooting them. He's ex-marine and with
fallen into a Joe Rogan podcast. What's going on?
Leif.
So when did you last do MDT?
Leif Babin.
MDT?
DMT.
DMT?
When was the last time you did MD to TT?
I haven't done it, Kieran.
Q?
Stop being Joe Rogan.
I'm not the one talking about compound.
Jocko Willink and another of his SEAL buddies. They're like Navy SEALs, and I've never been too into military books, but his is awesome. It's called Extreme Ownership. It's a book about leadership, so it talks about his examples being in, like, I suppose you call it occupied Afghanistan, and trying to liberate that in the Afghanistan war. They match that up with leadership lessons and then what they've brought to businesses as well. It's just like awesome book.
Yeah.
And I'm rereading a couple of strength books, but
I'm not into military books, but his does sound interesting.
They're very good.
I've had little snippets of the audiobook on like YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's good.
Just nailed it.
Get Jocko on.
Yeah.
Nah, he's awesome.
No, I'll pee myself. I'll be so terrified. It's a terrifying man.
That's the thing. That's the thing about the book, and about when I seen him on Rogan. And the reason I got the book was that you think it's going to be Ubermensch, SEAL training, do or die, but the lessons and how he approaches it and the softness of their leadership
comes across
styles.
really well.
It's leadership. It's not just like brutal leading from the front. It's how they think about things is brilliant.
Yeah,
and like there's awesome lessons. Or maybe we'll talk about it more.
Sounds quite
leadership
interesting.
and stuff. There's some really great points in the book. That's what I've just read. Reading a couple of strength books as well. But
do you read anything else, like as in any kind of genres that aren't sort of autobiographies or leaders?
I don't read autobiographies. I have read Steve Jobs's. That's quite good. Quite good one to read.
Fiction?
No, I don't really read fiction. Just, I don't know. I don't really have things I read. It's just if I get something I want to read, I'll just have a little read of it.
Nice.
Yeah. So a lot of the time training and something useful for me. That's probably why I don't read a lot of fiction. Like something more useful would be better. So yeah, reading, bit of golf.
So self-improvement in golf.
Yeah, self-improvement and then flagellation is golf. Atonement is golf, yeah.
I didn't know what you were going to say.
It means like it's like...
I thought you were going to say self-flagellations.
Flagellation, it's essentially like abusing yourself. Yeah. But that's what golf is kind of like. That was my metaphor, everyone. Thanks.
4 days in the gym, I thought that's what that was for.
Yeah, we do that too. We're trying to get better, man. Trying to get better doing that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Still a bit of self-punishment, isn't it?
Outside the gym?
Oh, yeah, me. Well, I collect useless talents. So I've got...
Oh, yeah, you circus strongman. Freak show
I've done freak show stuff. I play a lot of instruments. I was the only person in like the Northamptonshire area that taught didgeridoo.
Oh my god!
As well,
why did I know that? I didn't know you did that. And but you've taught other instruments. You taught guitar.
Yeah, bass guitar and drums. I've got like certain level of certificates.
Because
I can't remember what they are.
You are an awesome bassist.
In about 7 years.
Oh, nice.
But,
yeah, you won. Did you win a competition for bass, or win in a competition for bass? Or?
Yeah. I came third in a NAMM competition for bass.
Is that like AMRAP but guitar?
It was just like you just do like a little solo over a track, but it's like improvised and stuff like that. And the game, it was bullshit. Now looking back on it as an adult, as a kid, I was like,
sounds fun.
Fucking me, I'm fucking wicked. No,
sounds fun.
But it was good, yeah. But circus strongman stuff. I'm into that. Tearing cards, phone books, nailing stuff into my face.
Whoa. Let's draw a line on that one.
Spitting fire.
Okay, so nailing stuff into your face.
Yes, you get a nail. You usually lube it up. As you do, safety kids. Put the nail in your nose. And
can we just stop him a second? What we're going to just say is, don't do this at home.
No.
At all, in any way, shape or form, unless you really want to.
So I'll bring it back to wrestling. I wrestled as a clown.
You did wrestle as a clown.
I wasn't the best. I was not a good wrestler.
You know what? The one thing I will say about you is that you do not do anything in half measures.
No,
that's
at
true.
all.
All or nothing guy.
So lost in whatever it is you're doing at the time, you become like a mini expert in every little genre that you get yourself involved with. Yeah, even when you were playing the character, you're like a method actor for everything you pick up. So if you like, I like this coffee, then you become like Day-Lewis. Yeah, you become like a method barista where you just like.
Yeah, he'll just know everything about coffee.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
You ask him about something else, he'll just know.
I had a great coffee in London.
He's not always. Sometimes he is, but he's not always Wikipedia smart. Sometimes he goes deep and knowledgeable about stuff.
When it was Cosmo, right? That was what you
Cosmo the Clown.
Cosmo the Clown, right? He literally become a clown.
Like he learned afterwards.
He learned how to make balloon animals.
Yeah. I didn't know how to juggle. I had to learn how to juggle.
Juggling with things. He starts riding around on a tiny little bike. Like, he's like a method actor when it comes to shit like that. He just drops himself into the character.
When he turned into a hipster, he went full hipster.
Yeah, that's still
he's not out of
ongoing.
that phase yet.
No, that's still
That usually triggers him,
I can't
though.
say-
my
anything, really,
hipster's
to be
starting
fair.
to turn into like
Lifter.
like hippie. Like it's just
Hippie.
hipsters going is like, I'm not going to buy fancy shoes anymore. I'm not going to wear shoes. Why do I need shoes? Why am I going to have avocado toast? I'm just going to make my own bread from birdseed, right?
Avocado.
Avocado toast.
I thought you were still on the shoe subject.
Yeah. Why wear shoes when you can wear avocado toast?
I thought you were going to say avocado
Yeah, but
toast.
sometimes you're like you've just said you've went like hipster, hippie, but then sometimes you're like, oh, I'm just gonna be Scott. So it went from hipster to like avocado on toast, hippie, just raw avocados, and you're now you're just like eggs now, just meat and eggs for
Just meat
lifting.
and eggs, just nice and easy. But when I wrestled, I was not a great wrestler. I could take a bump for a big guy.
That's not fair to say. I think when you were younger, you were young,
Yeah.
to start with. And I think sometimes you forgot that less is more.
Yeah.
So you used to go out there and just, over bump everything and you didn't need to.
I filled my bump card pretty quickly.
Yeah, you really didn't need to. And I think it's unfair to say you weren't a good wrestler. I think you were just young, you were green, you were unconfident.
400-pound
That's all it-
16-year-old and do jackknife bumps on your neck.
Yeah, that's not the way to go.
Like, I thought, to get into shows, I'll just be the best at being a clown. So on a Sunday, I'd go to like clown college, clown school, which was in Rushden, and they do like walking in the hoops and like Cirque du Soleil style stuff in the bands, and they also done juggling, like little acrobatics and stuff like that.
Right.
Because you even had weighted pins, didn't you?
Yeah.
I'm talking like all out.
Yeah.
Like, even had
That
a
is him.
whole costume made.
That is Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got into the extreme stuff because I thought it'd be more fun. I used to balance lawnmower on my chin and let people throw cabbages in it. Balance, BMXs and stuff like that.
So the lawnmower was on.
Lawnmower was on, plugged in. The wire taped down the side. I only have my record's 2 cabbages because it gets scary after that.
How did you get past one
Just like a
cabbage?
fly mo. I don't know. It just stayed up there. I was like, let's go for again. I bought like 12 though, thinking I'd be doing it for ages, and I was like, nope.
Oh god, what's going on? Sorry.
Why did I never know that?
I didn't know this.
Why does
I
he do
didn't know
this?
this. I've
He does
known
this,
him.
though, does
Know
he?
this.
I have never ever heard those words come out of your mouth.
I'll
that
see if I
used
can
to-
pull. I'll give it was
Oh my god.
Aaron Moss was there,
do it
so
again.
Aaron's probably filmed it. He's probably got it on
Oh
tape
well,
somewhere.
why am I not surprised? Dangerous thing. Aaron was there.
Yeah, so he's probably got it on tape. So I'll see if I can get it off him.
Oh my god, I've never no
Old
that's-
video camera, trying to do jackass style stuff, and I was like, I'm not doing any of the actual dangerous stuff. We'll do the fake dangerous stuff.
But the fake dangerous stuff like balancing a lawnmower on your face while someone throws cabbages at you.
Yeah, but I knew how to do it, and I was very confident and safe.
How can you be safe?
I just done it
How
for
can,
so
what were you
long.
wearing? A safety hat? A pair of
No.
safety shoes? Some gloves?
I was wearing gloves. I wasn't wearing a safety hat or anything.
How could you say balancing a lawnmower on your chin
Oh, no.
while someone throws
I had a-
cabbages at you?
I had a
It's
crazy,
safe.
crazy teenage years.
Yeah, so that's what Scott used to like, or still likes.
Well, now it's just reading, and that's about it, really. Reading, kind of traveling,
So
cooking.
old age has mellowed you out a little bit, is what you say.
Reading, traveling, cooking, and that's about it.
Yeah, so you no longer, like knock things into your face or balance
No,
dangerous
because I've done
objects
it.
on them.
It's ticked off the list, right? Walking on fire, done it. Don't need to do that again. Laying
Back-
on a bed of nails, done it. Don't
Back
need
to
do
the
that again.
earlier question. Set yourself new goals.
Yeah, exactly.
He's hit his goals. He's got some new ones.
I feel like all of ours was very boring in comparison to what he's just said. I've got to stop leaning back.
I tried to
It's
say
the
mine
plus
quick
side
because
of
I knew
being an
Scott would have some
introvert.
interesting ones.
Very, very, yeah. You don't live the life of an introvert, though.
No.
Like, you're like the opposite of an
It's a
introvert.
spectrum, isn't it? And I think I like time alone.
People
but I
take
don't care
characteristics
about-
from both. There's
Yeah,
even
exactly.
such thing. There's probably no such thing. It's just like a
That's
set,
it,
of,
you're
set of ideals.
That's it. All the introvert watchers have just left now. They're just like, oh, he's telling me it's not a thing. That's it.
They've gone to go read.
Balance shit on their face.
That's just
That's
me.
not introvert
I
at
just
all,
think
is
I
it?
so
me.
want to see.
Go on,
put
Scott.
it
Hit
in
us.
I don't think I'd ever do the lawnmower one again. I'll do other things, BMXs and stuff like that. Ones that won't cut me up because it is scary. But yeah, we'll leave that for another. Maybe get some footage. So next question. From Danny Phoenix, ketchup or brown sauce on your bacon roll?
Great question. Brown sauce. Great question.
Mine's both.
Yeah.
Like, not like at the same time.
Oh,
but
maybe.
Like 1 week I might have... It just depends on what mood I'm in. And it depends
Ketchup's
on...
too sweet for bacon. Come on.
It depends on
how I
what
feel.
sauce it is as well.
What bacon
like,
is it?
as
Is it
in-
smoked, unsmoked?
The brand. Because some real cheap brown sauces aren't nice.
The cheap ones are... Some cheap ones are great.
Oh.
Do you ever get Daddy's brown sauce, put it in the roll, take a bite and go, "Ooh, Daddy." Just me?
He's back to sitting in the park again.
No, I used...
I haven't done that, but that's not how I'm going to... Bacon rolls now.
That's it going
You're never going to
forwards.
look at a bacon roll again the same way, are you? You're looking at it going, I can't eat that. I just can't.
I don't think anything can stop me eating bacon.
No, I think if you're doing unsmoked bacon, it has to be brown sauce. If it's smoked bacon, I'll do either or.
Mine's just the mood I'm in. Sometimes I'll look at it and I'll go, brown sauce all day long. It's like, if I have a sausage sarnie, it's probably going to be brown sauce.
Yeah.
But I know we're not talking about sausage sarnies, but, while we're on the subject of sarnies.
So you two are both... you two are either.
Yeah,
Yes.
either
All
or.
right, okay.
Either
All
or.
right.
Interchangeable.
I can deal with that.
Thanks. What would you have said if we just said tomato
We would have had a
sauce?
blazing row.
Just got up and walked out.
So I've got 3 more left. This one's from our boy Sam.
Shout out to Sam. We're getting him on, right?
Yes, yeah.
Get him on.
He should be on. I'm not going to say when, just in case it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
He'll be
He'll
on.
be
He's going to be
on
on a future podcast,
at
so
some
look out
point.
for that.
See you soon, Sam.
So the question is your thoughts on equipped lifting. Chris, do you want to run down what equipped lifting is?
Yeah, and I'll do it in an unbiased way. And I think the reason I've said that is because there's like a lot of back and forth between equipped and unequipped, and then the extremes of equipped, which is like when you've got your multiply lifting. So I'll just try and give it a rundown. So when powerlifting was in its infancy, when it was like sort of breaking away from weightlifting, it's its own sport then. So the squat, bench, and deadlift sport. And I'm going to be if we compare powerlifting to weightlifting for a second, I'd even say weightlifting was the big brother sport because it's been around for longer.
Yeah.
It's been around for longer. It's got more of a
Yeah.
following. It's in the Olympics. So
It's what
whether we
started it off.
agree, which is better, it's the big brother sport. It's been around for longer. But powerlifting, even though we lift more weight and we'll do the more sort of simple lifts, it's definitely behind weightlifting, I think. But it's so progressive. It's so cool. Literally love the sport to death. So when it started, 50s and 60s is when it started to really get big in the US, Europe, and the UK. They would start to use some more supportive kit. So like the singlet you'd wear on competition day, just so you can judge a bit better. They would start to get a bit thicker, so you get a bit more compression. They would use a very light wrap around the knees, again for compression. Longevity is what they wanted. And then that sort of become the sport. You were kind of equipped in the early days, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever. But then these sort of mammoth, brutal, extreme versions of multiply, so the kit become very thick. They added the bench shirt,
Making
which
suits out of seatbelts.
pretty much. And you had a bench shirt as well that helped you bench, and that become like the multiply side of lifting. You get a bench shirt in equipped lifting as well. And that extreme side went off, and they've got their own federations. They don't tend to drug test, if that's important to you. And the IPF, which I consider the main one, it's IOC recognised, and that's where the sport is really building the greatest. They've got equipped when you've got some slightly, it's quite heavily supportive stuff, but not as extreme as multiply. And then you've got the classic, which is just belt and knee sleeves. What most people sort of say raw, raw lifting, and it's what most people that lift in the gym would probably look at and go, "Oh, that looks like lifting." Because you've got your belt, you're just doing squats, bench, deadlift, nothing too supportive. Your belt helps you a little bit. You should be wearing a belt at all levels of lifting. It keeps your core and back immensely strong. It will improve your strength more. Don't think of a belt as being it makes you weak. It makes you stronger. You're able to contract your muscles harder. That's what you want to do. So what do I think? I lift classic. It's just spoke to me more. That's what I prefer to do. I wouldn't really go and watch or ever be interested in multiply. That's just me. That's not to take any with the respect, because that was born from the early part of lifting when they used to use a little bit of supportive kit, and that's just the very base of the sport in its infancy, like I said earlier. So respect to them, respect to all lifters. Strong is strong, but I just prefer classic lifting.
Yeah.
So just lifting raw in your t-shirt, just
Yeah.
That's what I love doing.
Just your t-shirt.
Just t-shirt. In the park.
With your belt on.
Yeah, t-shirt and belt.
So what's your thoughts?
Well,
They're the differences.
Yeah.
I prefer classic.
So I don't like multiply lifting. I don't find any sort of appeal in it. Like, it doesn't interest me.
Right.
If I want to watch, forklifts pick up things, I'll just put on like Discovery Channel or Extreme Builds or something like that. But like equip lifting, IPF, kind of what got me into powerlifting. Like Ed Cohn and stuff like that. Back in the original days, and then Carl Jungvar, watching him lift, that kind of made me want to lift.
Like from around 8 to 9 years ago.
Yeah.
7-8 years ago. Yeah, we started watching him a lot, didn't we?
Yeah, and then from there it was just like getting. I couldn't afford gear. Like I couldn't afford to get like a singlet and stuff, like a what do you call it?
Bench
single ply
suit. You call them a
single
suit, I
ply,
think.
like wraps and stuff like that. So I just lifted classic.
Yeah,
really enjoyed it. But as a lifter, I think I prefer lifting classic.
Yeah.
Just because I don't like knee wraps. I don't like bench shirts. I think it's a bit much for me. But I love to go and watch it as a spectator with the IPF single ply lifting.
Yeah, I do quite like watching that, and again, massive respect because it's just the same part. It's like two sides of the same coin. I almost want to say with the IPF because it's still judged the same. Massive amount of lifters every event. Maybe some of the local ones struggle with the equipped, but world level and European, it's huge. It's absolutely massive,
definitely.
and European countries really love it, which is epic and great spectatorship. So it builds a sport. It's all good fun.
And sitting there and watching Tony Cliff, pull what was it? 360?
360 something. We
360
were
something.
we're in awe that day.
I got so pumped, It was great to be like
it's
watching that from the sidelines like, I get it.
He's brilliant. Yeah, I understand. They just want to lift that a little bit more and get like a bit more excitement. Yeah, it's good. Again, respect to the sport.
Definitely.
Cool. I mean, I don't really have much to say on it because I've no experience in it whatsoever, so I don't really know what it's about. Or that's not to say I wouldn't give it a go. Just to say I've tried it and
definitely, yeah, I'd give it a go.
Gave it a chance. But I don't know enough about it to want to be able to comment on it really. What does it? I mean, there's a lot of strongman use them, right? So they
strongman doesn't really. The rules regulations are quite minimal, and even the top level strongmen use that as a big criticism for the sport. It causes a lot of aggro between judges, between lifters, across countries, across competition, whatever it might be. And they don't have a lot of regulations, and I think because it is a massive spectacle, they want them to lift as much as possible. So they don't say don't use this kit, and it's going to help injury a lot of the time, I think, as well. So
I was just about to ask that if you're sort of maybe a bit older, or if you want to try and negate injury a little bit more.
We spoke about that the other day in terms of lift that way if you want to lift. It's not going to bother me. I've got past that whole I don't like that side. I just do my side of lifting. I'm past all that. If you're an older guy or girl and maybe got a couple of injuries, you've lifting years, what's the problem? Chuck your knee wraps on. Maybe suit up if you're going to go do a comp and you're safer and you can keep lifting for years. What's wrong with that? Go do it.
Exactly,
So on the point of strongmen, there's not really a lot of regulations. They chuck all this kit on and that's how they lift generally.
Yeah.
That's from what I've seen.
I think that's literally my only experience in it, is watching.
Right, you've seen them wear that.
Strong men wear it. But originally, I didn't know that's what they were wearing.
Yeah.
So until I got into weightlifting, I just thought, they're wearing a singlet. Without getting into, until we started going, so my very first competition was actually a equipped competition. It wasn't a raw competition.
Right.
So when we done the PTS one, it was actually for equipped lifters.
It was equipped, and they had
none of the lower weights did any equipped lifting apart from one guy.
That's interesting. I forgot about that.
Absolutely none of them, apart from the older dude. He wore the equipped stuff.
I know who you mean. Yeah, he's a good lad. He is.
And then
he was at my first comp as well.
And then all the heavier guys did. So they pretty much all wore.
His name.
Because Jordan did, right? Because your brother competes in.
I want to say he was raw in that comp. Have I missed it there?
No, I don't think he was wearing the. Doesn't it wear his
Who
orange?
are we talking about?
My brother.
Our first comp, he was raw.
Yeah.
But not the PTS one. I'm sure he was.
PTS,
maybe
he was equipped.
maybe he's equipped.
I'm sure you helped him do his knee wraps.
Right. Okay. Yeah, he was equipped for that one. I think I remember now.
And that's kind of where I was like, oh, that's what they've been wearing.
There's a different
side. There's a difference.
Cool.
It's a different sport. It is completely. You squat differently. You bench different. There's different cues.
Yeah. You walk differently.
It's a little bit like I sometimes say it's kind of like rugby league and rugby union.
Yeah,
it's just different codes, same sport, really.
Same goal in the end.
General principle.
Yeah.
Cool. What's the next question then? Thanks for that, Sam. We'll see you soon.
Get your opinion on lifting.
I won't see you soon, but we'll hear you soon.
So this one is, how important is nutrition really?
Okay. Again, we say it so much on this podcast, but it is really dependent on your goals.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to be a very top athlete, then nutrition is probably one of the key things, if not the key thing, in what you're trying to achieve.
It's absolutely massive. It's of that triangle of training, recovery, and diet. Of that triangle, diet plays a massive part of it, and it's just absolutely massive. So it's a huge part of it. I know myself. Sometimes my diet's good. I eat a lot of really, really balanced, good meals. Easy. a lot of balanced meals, but again, I don't always track. Really, really poor. It is poor dedication for me sometimes when I don't track macros, but I try my best to get a good balance and track it as often as possible. But and those days when you get it literally bang on, the right amount, the right macros, some good micronutrients, a good balance of meals, well-timed meals, good hydration, you feel like a different person. I feel like a different person. You feel 50% better, let alone a little few percent. So if you're doing that all day and you're being consistent, you're being dedicated, and over a long period of time, you'll hit your goals and you'll feel great while doing it. So diet is massive. Yeah. Definitely. I think there can't be an argument against it.
No, again, it's sort of goal-driven, isn't it? It's more, what's your goals at the end of the day? If you're not looking to be the world's top athlete, then nutrition's not going to play such a big factor in what you're doing. Be it having good nutrition's never a bad thing. It's never going to be a bad thing. But you maybe don't have to be so strict with it. You don't have to be like, well, this is exactly how much protein I have to have, this is how much carb I have, and I'm never going off that.
There's things to get
right as a human being.
There's things to get right, but no one's saying you have to be stupidly strict, because even the top athletes have got areas where they're probably a little bit looser because they don't want the daily stress of saying, I need to get this to the gram, I need to eat this at this time. They need like a bit of leeway, because that's not how life is, that's not how athletics is, and it's not how sport is to be perfect all the time. So you need to get things really right, but it doesn't have to be so perfect. But
it's good that you said that, because I think there's a lot of pressure for people who get themselves into diets early on, and that is their attitude. It has to be 100% right. And then what happens is they go into a cycle, which I'm sure all of us have done at some point, which is, I've had 5 good days where I've hit everything dead on. I've had one bad day, or I've had one bad meal even, not even one bad day. And then it's almost, I'm blown off for the weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
I had one bad day, what does it matter? I'm going to eat what I want to, and then I'm going to get back onto track on Monday. Which is actually the worst thing to do, because really you'd be better off just having that one bad meal and then getting yourself back on track. Just, you've had a bad meal.
People have a bit of a silly thing. I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it Monday.
Yeah, Monday mentality.
When I've improved diet or made changes, it tends to be right there and then.
Yeah.
Just do the changes, do it.
I think my thought is nutrition, it does come down to the person. So if you eat processed foods, tech dinosaurs, smiley faces, nutrition is very important for you because you need it. You're not getting any. But if you're someone that has, a very varied diet, lots of micro macronutrients, vegetables, well, whatever. I'm not gonna challenge your diet protocols, whatever you decide to do. So maybe not vegetables, but carnivores.
Whatever sustainable is good.
But if you're struggling in that aspect, then nutrition should be more important for you, just to be a decent human being. Like, feel not decent like a good person, but like just to feel as nice as you can.
Let's start using that in prison reform thing. It's okay, mate, you're a bad person, but as soon as we give you good nutrition, you're gonna be fine.
You're decent. You're just hangry, you're fine. You're just hangry. Don't worry about those 14 people you murdered.
Too many turkey Twizzlers for you.
Oh, turkey Twizzlers.
They're
it's
back,
saying something.
You can make them. You can make them.
But it's saying something when they banned turkey Twizzlers, and like, how bad could they have been that they needed to get banned?
If people want a turkey Twizzler healthy alternative, give me a shout, and I'll
put you on to Sophie, because she's been moaning about the fact that turkey Twizzlers got banned.
I could do that.
So we said it's down to the person. So sort of, if it's poor diet, they need to focus on it.
Yeah, exactly.
But if they're doing okay and it's balanced, then
if you're generally all right, you're eating what you need to eat, and you're getting in what you need to get in.
Fair point, I suppose.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think as well, if you're going to break it down a little bit, you can just say, if you've got a very high-end car and you run it on cheap fuel, it's still going to run.
Yeah.
It's just not going to perform as well as it should. So, that's kind of one way of looking at it is, you can still run every day on a baddish diet.
Yeah.
You're not going to work to the best of your abilities unless you nail in that kind of nutrition side of it.
Yeah.
Do we have any more questions?
We have one more to finish up.
Unless you've got anything more to say. You're looking at me a bit squinty there.
I'm good.
Good.
I'd like to get through them quick.
This is
I want to go home.
No, I wouldn't say that.
this is from Eddie. In your opinion, should there be an untested?
Just shut it down.
We're going to leave it there.
So, thanks for them.
Should there be an untested Olympics? And if so, would you watch?
Should there be an untested Olympics?
It wouldn't be called the Olympics if it was untested. They would not put their name to that.
But
should there be
an
an alternative to the Olympics, which is untested?
Like Super Pyro Jack-Together Olympics, they call it.
Ubermensch mutant throwing killing.
Yeah. Firework Bald Eagle, because it's American-based, obviously. It was untested. Bald Eagle Fire Machine Gun Olympics.
And that's how it actually gets started every time.
The flag.
I have a very different view.
You're probably different
two.
to me and Scott, yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very different view. So I'll let you guys go first.
Okay. Probably quite the boring answer, but it's what I feel anyway. The extremes they're going to now, and I'm talking about athletic teams, I'm talking about like the leaders of sports in certain countries, and I'm talking about pressures from the sport leaders of governments, because I never say the government because it doesn't mean anything. So the sport leaders and the people that are trying to push sports in certain countries, the stuff they're doing now, like selecting children based on testosterone levels, giving children doping children, giving them drugs, picking them at early ages and making them do this while training. The crazy lengths they're going to. You watched a good documentary on it, didn't you? You can.
Oh, it was actually Scott, actually.
Yeah.
You can probably talk about that, but the lengths they're going to, what they're putting in people, the pressure they're putting on people, and the pressure these athletes are feeling, that will just get worse and worse, and it would be ridiculous. I don't think they should do it, and I probably wouldn't watch it.
No. I feel like if they did it, if there was just untested, they could do whatever they want. I think the records would be very similar, but you'd have a lot more sick athletes because they just push. Push it too much.
Let's take steroids for a really simple point. Steroids and what these athletes do. So let's take, I suppose wrestling and NFL would be a good example of that. They're known to have taken steroids at certain points in that sport's history, and afterwards they're really messed up mentally and physically. Mentally being probably even worse because everyone gets beat up when they're older. These guys are just a bit more beat up, but mentally, they're left as wrecks. They don't feel the same as they did when they were on steroids. They have not got the testosterone to support that, their mood and their feeling good and everything that goes with a natural
and then they turn to
level.
Painkillers as well because
there's other things they'll turn to, don't they? Because there's similarities with people that take recreational drugs and people take PEDs and the effects of afterwards of them being gateway drugs. Yep, whatever. People say that, gateway drugs, but they exist, okay? So, like you literally said there about the painkillers afterwards, it happens, not to everyone, it's not like a golden rule, but it's going to happen, and there's things that happen after people take these steroids because they want that feeling, they want the performance their whole life, and they can't have it.
Yeah. I think, the Olympics is Formula 1, and the Olympics without testing is NASCAR. Fuck's watching NASCAR, right? All right, guys?
I like NASCAR, but then that's going to bring me on to my...
There we go.
It battles with the Super Bowl for the most watched sporting event, doesn't it?
In the US.
No, sorry, I'm wrong. That's IndyCar. I'm wrong there.
Oh, right.
It's even more boring than NASCAR.
There's something... It's a bad comparison. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, just for the fact that NASCAR's a very much a driver and a car sport. So there isn't anything in there that's technology-wise to make them better, which Formula 1 has everything in that car to make that car as efficient as possible, whereas NASCAR doesn't. So it comes down to the driver and his ability to be able to drive. Whereas it's not so much in
They're still
Formula
souped
1.
up machines in NASCAR.
Anyway, I'm definitely going off on a tangent. My answer is yes, I would like to see it. Yes, I would like to see what the human capabilities are untested and unregulated.
On bull juice.
We have spoken about this before, that in theory, a lot of top athletes aren't healthy because they're only doing it, they go in there to win, so they'll do whatever they need to do.
Yeah, they're only
to do
concerned
that.
with winning, and my, this is against me, my moral little high ground of, don't do that. Yeah, maybe they don't care about it, but I'm saying about the effects they're doing to people unknowingly, like children, like women taking steroids as well.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And other drugs. There's other ways they dope.
I'm just going to go on the side that they agreed to do it themselves. So let's not say they're being forced into it by the government or any of that sort of stuff. We know it happens, but that's happening in a regulated sport. So what we were talking about earlier is that, the documentary that you sent us, is that they were finding lookalikes descending for urine samples and blood tests and all that sort of stuff. So they're going to extreme lengths already to cover this stuff up. But I think it'd be quite nice to just sort of say, well, if we take that away, maybe that'll stop, maybe it won't, maybe they'll just abuse them even more, which is more than likely what's going to happen.
They will.
But I would like to see,
Because then they have to beat other untested athletes, so they have to beat them, so they'll just do more and more to these athletes.
But you've also then got the almost level playing field, to the point where...
It wouldn't be level.
But if you're it's not level now, though, is it? So if you look at the Olympics, how many people have been done and busted?
There's a lot of effort going into stopping them, and people want to get on their little conspiracy theory high horse and say, oh no, they're all on it, and it doesn't matter if they're tests, because it doesn't matter. There is a lot going into it, a lot of funding, and there's no conspiracy. VADA don't actually test, really. Of course they do.
I don't think that there's not effort going into it, but I think there's always going to be people who are going to find ways around whatever they're testing, which automatically makes it an uneven playing field, because you may or may not be competing against somebody who has an advantage over you.
You just got to trust that it happens less often than what everyone thinks.
Well, at the moment, it seems to be the other way around, doesn't it? More and more people are being busted for it, and less because their testing's getting better and better.
The testing's getting better, and the media's getting better in terms of their naming and shaming, so you're going to see it more often.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I think for me, it'd just kind of be interesting. I think it's more...
It's like, I don't care what Thor Eddie deadlifts, because it's just... It doesn't mean anything to me.
Fair point.
To me, it's like...
I'd rather go and watch Ray pull... I mean, people can moan about if Ray's on something or not. He's tested, he's passed, fine.
Yeah, we can't do much more than that, can we?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
They turn up.
Get a lookalike for him who isn't Mark Henry. Good luck.
He can't be. Mark Henry's like 10 years older than him.
They've met each other though, I swear.
I think there is.
Mark went to his gym.
I think Mark tried to scout him.
Well, he was an actual world's strongest man, right? Henry.
IPF, world's strongest man, and IWF lifter. Yeah, he's done it all. I don't know if he's never been...
I don't know what he's actually won, but I know he's had an American record, and he's an American weightlifter.
Yeah. He has IPF
I think he went to the
records.
Olympics. I'm pretty sure he went to the Olympics.
He did Olympics for US, yeah.
Epic.
I don't know what place he came, but he has IPF
Mark Henry,
records.
Ray Williams.
Was that just
IPF
like
lifter.
weightlifting classes? Does it just get to his weight and then just go...
Yeah.
Just question mark?
Yeah, it's the 105 plus.
Yeah.
So it's just whatever.
Those big scales you got where they put the back of the trucks on and see what they weigh. Come on, Mark. In you come. Stand on this. The guy is a tank. He's an actual tank. The dude is massive. And that's on telly, so I'd hate to see actually how big he is in real life. Yeah. I'm going to say huge.
Big, yeah.
But back to the question, yes, I would definitely like to see it.
Yeah.
The run, jump, and where the fuck did he go?
I'd love to watch.
I think people like the idea of it more than it actually happening, because you just see ill people not... Because right now they're trying to do things to counteract whatever they're on to bring them back to normal health. Or you get the people that do the p-doping, the saddle, little bag that you know,
prosthetic bladder, I guess.
Yeah, and penis and stuff like that.
Yeah, prosthetic penises. It happened in sport.
Yeah. But I think it'd just be a lot more ill people.
Don't think it'd be good.
And not much difference on the
go and watch like athletics. Go watch the Olympics
right.
live if you ever get a chance. You'll see some freakish stuff. It'll be so
You've got
epic.
people pulling, near 500 kilos in the IPF tested. And they're not the biggest guys.
Well, I was trying to focus on Olympics, so like with athletics and stuff. But
yeah,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, because lifting's not everyone's bag.
No, that's true.
No, but yeah, I mean, I like we've always had different reviews on it, but I understand where you're both coming from as well. And from a health point of view, yes, it would definitely be safer.
I just see athletes as this, that untapped potential, and you see them, they've put everything into it, and I just sort of, I don't know, maybe I get into their story a bit too much, and I'm like, I don't want to see them taking drugs at all. Some of them do, and I'm just going to have to accept that.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions?
Nope, that was the last one.
That was the last question.
Last question.
So, before we wrap up, big shout out to Xite for sending these drinks, and actually they are very nice.
Yeah.
So if you do want some, like I said, get over to drinkxite.com and you can get yourself some ordered. 0 sugar, vegan friendly, all good.
Made in Austria. There you go, Chris.
Oh, that
Oh,
does
that's
change.
it for you.
That does it for me. I'm going to get a crate. Love Austria.
So we will be back again with another podcast.
Are you literally trying to trigger me there or what? You said that.
That's it. That's just
I literally thought you were trying to get me there.
No, it's made in Austria.
I need to see it now.
Doesn't believe it.
I'll believe you. I can't read. I can really.
I can show you after the show.
That's right.
Okay, are we finished?
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, we're done. Okay. So, thank you for joining us again. So, you can go to our website and catch all of our previous podcasts at www.letschalkaboutit.co.uk. You can also help support this podcast by buying some merchandise if you really want to. Nice t-shirt here that I'm wearing.
They have them in
That was
extra medium.
That wasn't shameless, was it?
Nope.
No, big boy
size.
size.
You've only got the logos in 9-foot posters. and you're like, here's the logo.
This is actually my t-shirt
Tiny logo.
that they've just stretched across the back wall.
Took me ages to iron it.
Yeah.
I could get you one made if you want.
That's good. I'll get one. It's fine.
So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Chris, where can we find you?
Mackenzie.strength.
Scott?
Scott speaking.
You can find me at Let's Chalk About It. It's all on Instagram. The names will be along the bottom of the screen. Again, thanks for watching, and we will see you guys again soon.